Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is incredible. So I just want to thank you guys so much for your support and for watching my videos. I've been doing pretty well on here lately and that makes me really happy, so thank you. Today I'm going to be talking about the plastic straw ban and why this hurts people with disabilities like myself. Not many people know this, but plastic straws are actually a necessity for so many people with disabilities like me. This is because many of us cannot pick up cups or glasses because they're too heavy, and we need to use a straw to be able to stay hydrated and get a drink. Plastic straws are so essential because many of the other options don't work for people with disabilities because there's maybe allergy issues. They're not positionable, so if you're someone like a quadriplegic who really can't move most of their body, they need to have their straw stay in the same place so they can take a drink. They also might get too hot in warm liquids, which can be dangerous. Some of them disintegrate, which can be dangerous. And some of them are also dangerous for people who aspirate fluids. So plastic is the only option that works for everyone, so it's the option that needs to be available in stores and restaurants. And whenever I bring this issue up, I always get so many comments from people that are like, if it's that important to you, then bring your own. Like, if you really need a straw, then you won't forget it and bring your own to a restaurant if they don't offer them. But there's a few things wrong with that. First thing is that restaurants are expected to provide straws. It's the same as expecting a napkin and silverware when you go to a restaurant. By that logic, if you're expected to bring a straw to a restaurant, you should also be expected to bring your plates, your napkins, your silverware, and everything else. Also, people with disabilities already have so many things that we have to remember to bring, and adding straws onto it is just so unnecessary when restaurants are perfectly capable of providing them for us. Also, people forget things all the time, even if they're important to them. People forget their keys and their wallet all the time. And those are super important things, but people still forget them. Humans are not perfect. We make mistakes. Also, per the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act in the United States, restaurants and any other public place have to accommodate people with disabilities. And part of accommodating people with disabilities is having straws available. Also, another issue with saying we should bring our own straws is, what if we weren't planning to go eat out? What if we were just out for a fun day and we didn't plan to go out to eat anywhere? And then we're with friends and we decide, oh, hey, let's go eat. Well, we would have to say no because we wouldn't have our straws with us, and then we wouldn't be able to have fun with our friends as a spur of the moment activity. So basically the main point here is that straws provide people with disabilities with so much more independence. And to people who are able-bodied, this might not seem like such a big deal, but when you can do something on your own, for people with disabilities, that is a big deal. It might sound so silly because it's just a straw, it's just taking a drink, but it's so nice to be able to be at a restaurant and have a straw given to you and be able to take a drink on your own. This is why we also don't want to have to ask for straws. It would honestly just be best if the waiter said, I have plastic straws available if anyone would like them. And then we're not put in this awkward position of having to reveal medical information to a random stranger just to get a straw, which is a necessary item that we need because it's uncomfortable. People with disabilities and many other people don't really like telling random people our personal info. So we should not have to tell our waiter or waitress that we need a straw because we have a medical condition, because it's really none of their business and it's just kind of awkward. So if we're working to reduce waste, which I'm all for, then maybe a good option would be for the server to say they have straws available and ask if we would like them, and then all we'd have to do is say yes. People say to me, why don't you just get a reusable straw? There's problems with this too. Many people with disabilities like myself don't have the dexterity to clean reusable straws. So plastic is the best option for us because we use it one time and then we don't have to worry about cleaning it, we just get a new one. I've also had people say to me when I tell them that I can't clean a reusable straw, that my life really isn't worth living if I can't do something as simple as cleaning a reusable straw. Which is really a gross attitude to have, because just because people with disabilities lose our independence a lot of the time doesn't mean that our lives aren't worth living. Many of us still have incredible lives and we're happy and we enjoy our lives and we make a difference in the world. So that comment is just disgusting. Another main point that I would like to make here is that plastic straws only account for about 0.02% of waste in the oceans in the US. And yes, it would be great if that number was 0%, but it can't be because they are a necessity for so many people. And the plastic waste in our oceans could be reduced much more if we cared more about other plastic items. See, plastic straws are easy for able-bodied people to eliminate, and it helps them feel like they're making a difference when they really aren't making much of a difference. I know there are some people who don't use plastic straws and who don't use plastic at all as much as they can, but there are a lot of people who simply don't use plastic straws and continue to use other plastic, like at the grocery store, water bottles, plastic bags, and so many other examples of that. So this kind of raises the question of why we're only eliminating straws. And the answer is because it's easy for able-bodied people to eliminate them and hop on this trendy environment movement and feel like they're making a difference. And please don't get me wrong, I do care about our environment. I think it's great to reduce our waste as much as we can, but plastic straws are simply not the place to start because so many people need plastic straws. It would be better to start with items that other people don't need. But then again, it's also hard to find an item like that because plastic is a good option for many people with disabilities. And we need to remember that there's always going to be a cost to something. If we switch from plastic to paper, then our trees are being hurt. So there's never really a way to not be depleting resources because there's always going to be a cost. And that's really unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way it is. It's kind of just impossible to fully reduce our waste we make as humans. Another thing that I would like to mention is I don't understand why this topic seems to be the one topic that people with disabilities really get attacked for. People with disabilities get attacked for so many things. So I'm not saying that we're not ever getting hate because that is not true. I have gotten very many rude comments about being disabled. But for some reason, the straw topic seems to be the one where people get so heated and defensive. And I just don't really understand why this is the one where it's like the worst. People have said to me that turtles are more important than humans and the environment is more important than humans. And I agree that turtles are adorable and we need to try to keep them safe and that we need to try to keep the environment as clean as possible. But I disagree that those things are more important than human beings. Disabled human beings are more important than the environment and than animals. And I don't really think that should be up for debate. Just because I believe that human beings are more important than the environment and animals does not mean I don't care at all about the environment and animals, because I do care and I don't want to intentionally hurt them. But people with disabilities did not ask to have a disability that makes it so we need straws. It would be wonderful for us if we did not require plastic straws. So that's just really my opinion on this whole debate. It really shouldn't be up for debate. The straw ban makes life harder for people with disabilities. And while it is a dilemma because straws do hurt sea life and the environment, not having them hurts disabled human beings. And at the end of the day, that is really what matters most. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was an informative video for you. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and also look for my other social media and website links in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for your support. I will see you at the next video.